Greetings, I'm Chappers.
And I am the captain.
And we're here to be tweaked.
We're going to tweak. Tweak. James Brown. Ow! Oh! Sex Machine. Different James Brown.
Oh, that's a shame.
Big Texan, lovely guy with a beard. So it makes him better.
Santa.
Kind of. Fairly well-known sort of amp engineer. He was the guy that sort of headed up the original PV5150 project. He's worked,
so nothing big then?
Yeah, nothing big. So he would have been the designer of probably the Mark 1 and the Mark 2. He's worked with people like Joe Satriani, people like Sinister Gates, designing their signature amps for whichever company they're working for. So I think that... Anyway... Guy's name's James Brown, lovely guy. I met him 2 or 3 years ago at the NAMM show. Loved his pedals. Currently they were being imported into the UK through a third-party company that I just didn't really want to deal with. Bits by the by. Anyway, went to see him at this year's NAMM show. He said, I've scrapped that relationship now. I'll just sell the pedals direct to the retailer. So the price of the pedals would come down a bit. I was happy because I could just deal direct with James, and he's a really lovely guy. And so Andertons are now an AmpTweaker pedal reseller. And I have to be totally honest with you, I'm kind of excited because there's tons of pedals out there that sound great. Loads and loads of pedals that sound great. But there aren't many pedals, I'm going to even go so far as to say, there aren't any pedals that have the kind of feature-packed, just clever stuff that James has put in his pedals. So
it's more than just a pedal, is what you're saying.
It's more than just a pedal. It's
an experience.
There's a marketing strapline here.
There is a marketing.
It's more than just a pedal.
Let me work. It's more than just a pedal. It's a time machine. It's more than
it's everything. It's art. It's more than just a pedal. It's art. No, it's a kind of a little pedal system, I suppose.
It's a solution.
Anyway, so there's about 20 pedals in his range. There are pedals for guitar players, pedals for bass players. They're predominantly drive pedals. There is a very cool pedal called the Swirlpool, which is a chorusy kind of tremolo vibrato thing, which we're not demoing today, but there is a very cool video on the website of that. Anyway, so the drive pedals are split into 3 basic kind of driven sounds. A drive pedal, a rock pedal, and a metal pedal. There's also a fuzz pedal and a boost pedal, which again we're not playing with today. But the basic thing that I wanted to do in this kind of sort of video was explain...
Is that a prototype?
No, these are all... He literally hand signs the back of every single one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
These are so hot. Look, this was made on the 16th of February.
That always confuses me when the dates
Americans
are
always
backwards.
put the month first, don't they?
Yeah.
Which is kind of what... I think if you were saying it's February 16th, isn't it? But we say it's the 16th.
What's the 16th
anyway,
of February?
Whatever.
That's the way the date should be written.
So what I really like about the AmpTweaker range is that in most of the pedals, certainly in the metal, the drive, and the rock, there are 2 versions of the pedal. Okay, there's a standard version, which has got some great features on it, which I'll go through in a second. And there's a pro version, which has got a ridiculous amount of features on it. Yeah. So, oh yeah, proper.
Wow.
All steel, made in America, chunky knobs, a kind of a bull bar type thing on the top to stay.
Handmade in the US of A.
So the regular pedals are a straightforward on and off with volume, tone, and gain, and a sort of another EQ or sort of a tightness kind of control, with dip switches as well, or not dip switches, but little small switches here that again do different things on different pedals. But the pedals have things like different EQ settings. They have built-in gates.
I've never seen knobs that have been. They've
got little diamonds in.
They've been they've been routed out to show you whereabouts it is. That's a really, really clever thing.
Now, the first thing that you see on the pedal is just a lot of functionality to get your tone. So we'll go through that on each pedal. But what I really, really liked were the effects loops that are built into the pedals. Now you kind of go, actually, I've never really seen this done before. There's a lot of product on the market now that, separate loopers and stuff that you can trigger several pedals with one button, but I've never kind of really seen them built into pedals before. So the standard series has got a single effects loop on it, and it has 2 basic modes, and the idea is, depending on the mode that it's in, if I switch the pedal on, it engages whatever else is in the effects loop. So if I always want to have a bit of delay or something with my drive pedal, I can loop the delay into this, leave the delay on all the time, but it will only activate when I turn the pedal on. Or I can set it so that it alternates. So I can have maybe two drive pedals, one for a rhythm and one for a lead sound. And then as I switch this off, what will happen is it will engage the effects loop, if you like. So
very interesting.
Kind of clever. And we've got, really, I must admit, I think other manufacturers do this. Let me just think, brain in gear here. Why would you do this? There's a physical switch to say whether or not you want the battery to work or not. I think it's probably to do with, when you power down and leave the thing on a pedal board with everything plugged in, if there's a battery inside, you sometimes find that it's still drained down. So you can physically say, no, even though there is a battery inside, don't access it.
Is that what this is?
Yeah.
That's a really, I just got to say, a lot of pedals and a lot of guitar gear in general uses what electricians would consider to be quite old switches and things. This is such a nice tactile switch.
So the Pro...
Wait. Oh, that's great.
So the Pro series of pedals, as well as having essentially dual buttons, so there's always an on-off and a boost, and a bunch of additional tonal kind of stuff, which we'll come to, have 3 effects loops built into the pedals. Essentially, one is the side track, so again to alternate between one or the other. One is an effects loop that only comes on when you engage the boost, and the other is an effects loop which is like a universal one which would come on when you just engage the pedal.
These have got to be really expensive.
Well, you would think. And again, when they were coming in through a third party, that was part of the reason why I didn't want to do it when they were coming in through a third party sort of distributor, because they were a little pricey. But what would you, these are American made, you felt the quality.
Well, I'm going to say this is a couple of £100.
Yeah, $199.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, but when you think about,
but that's not bad. But it's a couple hundred. It feels like it's worth a couple $100.
Yeah, it's just.
I mean, it's heavier than some amps.
I'm just trying to think of some like really. I mean, I guess just you look at some of the. I'm not even going to name the names because it's a bit unfair. But you guys can go out there and look. You can see drive pedals that are, £300-400.
It's got a little platform for my plectrum to sit on.
I thought you'd broken it then. I was thinking, oh no, but you haven't.
I don't think that's actually in any way possible.
Yeah, I'm just trying. I mean, you guys can't, because I don't want to sort of be unprofessional and slur anyone else's. But go look on the Andertons website. There's a ton of distortion pedals that sell for between £150 and £200 that are nowhere near as well featured as these. So so the standard ones are about £150, or actually some of them are a bit less than that, and the Pro ones are like $199. I think that's great. So we're going to start. We're really in this video, we're just going to do the 3 drive pedals: the drive, the rock, and the metal.
Yes. Wait, let me caffeinate.
But do please go to the Andertons website. I'll put a link in the description below. You can see we're using a Chapman.
I bought a new guitar.
ML1 hot rod.
Yeah, that's my new guitar because I never actually had one, although I came up with the idea for the hot rod.
Yeah.
And I never got one. It's a hunk of tree.
It's about as straight up a guitar as you can make. So it's a Seymour Duncan JB on a solid lump of swamp ash with just a volume control, and that's it.
Tree wood.
And we're going into a JCM 800, which I have set unusually clean because I want all the drive to come from the pedals. So if you have an amp at home that you can get a clean sound out of, that basically with one of these pedals you should be able to emulate the kind of sound that we're getting.
Let's do it, Lee.
So we're going to start with the Tight Drive. Now I'm using the Tight Drive Pro. You can see on the close-up cam we've got Tight Drive Pro. So kind of imagine that the first half of the demo of the Tight Drive Pro is what the regular Tight Drive would sound like, and it's only really when I start engaging the boost or some of the knobs over here that we'll move into the sort of territory of what only the Pro can do. So let's just go. Do you know what? This video is going to get awfully long if I explain what all of the little switches are on here. So go to the website, you can read up what they all are. It's pretty obvious. All I'm going to do is just switch them as Rob's playing so you can kind of hear what they're doing. So here we go.
That's great coming from.
We just had every sound there, and some of the things again you're not seeing. There's a mid boost option, so that when you hit the boost in, it also peaks the mid range, just to give you a solo kind of boost. The noise gate is cool. I'm going to demonstrate the noise gate probably more on the metal pedals, but you'll notice on the metal pedals we get quite high levels of feedback because of the amount of gain on there. You hit the noise gate in, and all those kind of chugged things, it literally does that real tight don't.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Really worried that might look really great on a pedal board.
What do you mean?
That looks great on a floor.
Oh, I see what you mean. Just a good looking pedal, isn't it?
Yeah, that and one of those little mini wahs.
Yeah, you're obsessed with the mini wah.
Yeah, I am. And a TU. I can't wait to try one.
So that's the drive, and we're going kind of, I think, in.
Can you give it a really kind of leady sound?
Yeah, I mean, don't forget, obviously, we're at the sort of the least driven of the three pedals at the moment.
Yes.
But it's got stacks of gain. So if I put the mid boost in, and let's see what we go.
That's pedal one.
Pedal
what
one.
Was it called?
It's called the tight drive. I do also believe that there's a fat version of each of these. So there's a tight version and a fat version. Now they're going to be subtly different, and what they basically say is if you've got a particularly sort of bassy kind of rig, you might want to go for the tight one. If you've got a particularly bright rig, you might want to go for the
so
fat
like a Fender reamp, you'd go for the fat one.
No, probably the opposite. I would have thought, because if you've got too much bass coming off the bottom of the amplifier, you might find that you want the tight one, and if you've got not enough bass coming off the guitar, you might want the fat one. I'm with you. So I've got a fat metal pedal actually. So when we get round to doing the metal bit, we can demonstrate the difference between the fat and the. So if you can just stand by for a second while I plug another pedal in.
Stand by, Edge.
So this next one is the tight rock, and just for kicks, I've just got the normal type rock. Right, again, there is a pro version if you think, oh yeah, I like that sound, but I want all those other features that are on the pro version. As I said, they're not designed to be completely different sounding pedals. They are any tone that you can get out of the standard version, you can get from the pro version.
There's just more features.
Just more features.
That looks mint with the red and white.
It's pretty cool.
It looks like something out of the remember Wipeout, the game Wipeout, which was really cool. Where you flew around a track and everything. It was really addictive.
So we've got volume, tone, gain, a tightness control. We've got two types of EQ. We've got the noise gate, and we've got a gain boost.
We're in, yeah.
So we aren't yet. So what's the clean tone?
Here is a clean tone. Okay, that's really, really good.
It's insane.
Yeah, that's really, really good. I have to say, that's right up there in my top 3 distortion pedals I've ever played.
I kind of think to myself, I think we all agree that 5150 is one of the just most fabulous rock metal sounding amplifiers ever, and it's certainly, you know, my personal opinion is, so I'm going to get shot for saying this. I'm going to say it anyway. My personal opinion is that I still think that the original, the 5150 Mark 1 and Mark 2 are still the kind of the holy grail of all the EVA
definitely
amps.
for rhythm tones. I think you're probably right.
It's a great sound.
That is gold dust.
Clean channel as well.
It's quite extreme. I had a reverb, but this wasn't really.
Yeah, what? Sorry.
I had a reverb, but I didn't really have it particularly cranked in the loop.
I turned it down actually to be
That
honest
is
earlier on.
sick.
Yeah.
That is a fucking. That's great. That wasn't supposed to be on film, but it's true. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it sounds great. And again, 140, 150 pounds, something like that.
Yeah.
Imagine, again, this is a great example. So if you want a delay pedal just for the lead tone that you're going to use on this,
You put it through the
you
loop.
put the loop, then you can leave, and then you're not kind of tap dancing. You could have 3 pedals through the loop, so all 3 come on when you might want that plus, delay plus, what else might you want?
And then you haven't got to run a couple of cables up to the effects loop of the amp as well.
Yeah.
You can do it all at the board.
You
can do it all at the board.
There's a switch underneath each pedal where you can adjust whether the effects loop is pre or post the tone circuit on here. So again, depending, I guess if you wanted to put a compressor in or something like that, you could have it pre. If you were going to put delay, you might put post. It's just like that's what impressed me. It's like, there's tons and tons of distortion pedals out there where you hit a button and all of a sudden you get a great distortion sound. Not disputing that. There's loads of those out there. But I just thought this added something.
Well, it's great.
Extra, it's
That's
just
what
like
it
it's
adds.
like, wow, that really is for the right kind of player.
Put it
and the
on
right
again.
pedal board. You love it, don't you?
Yeah.
Now
It's just doing it.
the other thing you can do with any of these drive pedals is you can run them with anything from 9 volts to 18 volts. In his manual, James says that typically if you can give it the 18 volt supply, you'll get more like the headroom and tone that you would from a 100 watt valve amplifier, and with a 9 volt supply, you'll get more like the sort of saturation you might get with a smaller valve amp.
Okay.
So now I don't have an 18 volt output from this Decibel 11 power supply. Unless you have to like double up 2 outputs, so I don't have the cable to do that. But I do have a 12 volt output, so you're kind of hearing an in between. I don't think it's a not a radical thing. So that's the Rock. I think it's fair to say that that actually for this rig with this guitar and this amplifier and for Rob as a player, I think the Rock's going to be
right up
your alley.
It's up my alley.
Metal. We might get Rob will play a bit. Maybe we'll get Robert to play.
Yeah,
I don't know.
let's do a bit of both. Maybe we'll get a bit of Captain to play.
Maybe not. Not on the metal one, that's for sure. So what I'm going to do on the metal
I'll stand by, yeah?
I'm going to demo, yes please. I'm going to demo, the bulk of the demo we'll use the Pro again because we've got some more features to show you. But we'll whack in the fat metal as well. So you're going to hear a tight metal versus a fat metal just to sort of, give you an idea of what you like. But yeah, do please just hit our website, search for AmpTweaker. If there's, as well as this video, we'll find some other videos of other people playing AmpTweaker pedals so you can get a real kind of palette of stuff going. So, again, knobs and buttons wise.
Let me back off some of the verb because I pushed the verb up.
Yeah, for this kind of sound, you probably don't need it. So again, the little switches on this, I think you've got some of the features that you had on the type drive. So you've got the mid boost when you engage the boost. You've got the noise gate. But now you've got the 2 modes of gain, sort of high and regular. But the EQ controls are a little different here. So we've got like a thrash metal EQ, we've got a regular metal EQ, and we've got an edge and a smooth control.
So let me chug and just bring it in. Wow.
I mean, that's from
What's
that.
going on?
That's from that. Just. I mean, you could get most amps to get you that kind of a clean sound, even a little solid
Do it
state
again. That's really good.
It's
really
how
impressive.
much there's physically be impossible to harness any more gain than that, wouldn't it? I mean,
Oh,
it's
you
just,
wouldn't-
that
you
is just a
wouldn't-
lot of gain. I think it sounds immense. I think to finish this demo, we'll just quickly show you.
Let's get
the
beer out
difference
and
between.
get the metal.
Yeah, that's
fat
true.
one.
We'll try a fat metal with beer.
Beazle.
Right. So this, I'm guessing, is going to sound pretty similar. We can have gain or black gain. Hello. Hang on. Let's just turn that down a minute.
Pretty intense.
I don't think there's enough gain, personally.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. I know what you can play.
What?
Let's see if we can get you a classic Pantera kind of sound.
I wish this
I know-
was down tuned.
Well, we've got. Do you want? What guitar from yesterday was drop tuned? Probably not the most metal guitar that we could have picked, but it was the only thing to hand that had that we could drop tune quickly and had humbuckers on. Although it has got the SE245 humbucker that Rabir kind of owns in another guitar, so it should get us some tones. But check this out.
squeal
monstrous.
on every single note.
Anyway, I don't know if Rob's coming back in the room, but I think we just outro here. I've been the captain. He's been Rob.
I've been Beer.
And these are AmpTweaker pedals that you can find out more about at andertons.co.uk. Goodbye.
Alright guys, my name's Rabia and I've teamed up with Musicism to teach you how to play guitar. So I've been playing guitar about 10 years. I'm the lead guitarist in the band Dorje, and I also have my own signature model guitar from Chapman guitars. I have a degree in music performance from the Academy of Contemporary Music, and what I've done here with Musicism is created a guitar course that I really wish I had when I started playing. So with this guitar course, I'm not just going to teach you scales and chords and techniques, but I'm also going to give you the knowledge to become a really awesome guitar player. Throughout the guitar course, we'll be putting together all the skills you've learned so far into some wicked guitar solos that I've written. They get more difficult as you go through, but don't worry, I'll be breaking them down piece by piece. We'll be starting from the ground up, so I'll be teaching you how to hold a guitar pick, to holding the guitar, vibrato and bending, all the way through to awesome guitar solos. By the end of this guitar course, you'll be flying around the fretboard in no time. So let me show you how it works. You'll be following lessons along the learning path that I've laid out for you. We'll learn the guitar step by step so you don't get lost. Once you've finished the lesson, you'll unlock practice exercises to really nail the skills you've learned. Track your progress in the practice journal so you know what to work on next time you sit down with the guitar. Earn badges as you practice. If you really want to challenge yourself, get them all, because if you do, you'll be a really great guitar player. So what's stopping you? Click here to start learning guitar for free, and I'll see you in the first lesson.